Hey Flosstube, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday the 7th of January 2024 with Flosstube number 204. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about cross stitch, counted cross stitch. Yeah, 1 week in, I go back to work tomorrow. Ugh. And yesterday Instagram just started throwing, I don't know, a bunch of project management memes and stories and I don't know, reels, I don't know what's on what platform at me, and I was like, oh no, reminding me that I'm a project manager and it's hard work, and that starts tomorrow. I will be working from home tomorrow, but I'll be in the office probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this next week. Then I've got a bunch of part weeks due to some more annual leave and public holidays and stuff, but yeah, next week will be a whole week at work, which is going to be a bit of a shock. So I'm going to do some cooking this afternoon so I can try and, you know, start the working year as I mean to go on, with nice balanced meals and things full of veggies. But anyway, I've had a quiet weekend, had a quiet couple of days last week. Otherwise, it was lovely to spend New Year's Eve with Judith and Mark, and Anne came to do stitching as well, and then her husband joined us for dinner, so we had a nice little dinner at Judith's, and then did see in the new year I did get Gigi finished. I'll show you. I did get my new start, just it was late and I had to frog a bit because I was tired, but I wanted to have a New Year's Eve start, so did that at 10:30. And what else? And then I had dinner with friends on Tuesday night up at their house. Basically, they live up what I call a goat track, the end of Karori, basically up in the hills, and I have to park part way up their road or driveway, and then they pick me up because I don't have a four-wheel drive, and you need a four-wheel drive to get to the house. It's about 2 kilometres up, so up a hill. And then Judith and I went over to the Wairarapa on Friday. We visited with Sam, Mind My Needle. Sam's a Kiwi girl and she hasn't been doing Flosstube for a little while due to some family stuff. She did a kind of whip parade, I guess, where she's at this week, so go have a look at that, and she'll explain in there why she's been not around. She sort of found her stitchy bug again, and now that the family's health is back on track, she hopes to do more regular videos. So we hadn't seen Sam for ages due to reasons, and it was nice to catch up with her. And then, yeah, now it's time for work. So that's what's been going on with me. Quite a bit of napping, quite a bit of stitching, quite a bit of reading, a little bit of housework. Not enough housework, but whatever. Got all year to do that. Dad's doing okay. Caught up with him a couple of times. He's, been feeling a bit worn out, so he's not been doing a heck of a lot, just taking things easy. It's probably the heat as well contributed to it. It gets pretty hot up in Kauro where he is, so I think he's just making sure he just takes things easy because he hasn't got any energy at the moment. And that's pretty much the update from here. So should we move on to some stitchy stuff? I do have one thing in. I've got my Silks for You Silks of the Month Club came in the mail on Thursday. These are the custom dyes for the club, just 5 shades of a lovely grey brown, or I guess going from a very light taupe colour through to a nice mid brown. You can see what they look like. So nice and handy for silk substitutions if and when I need to do that. These days I'm keeping all of the silks together in their little bags and just pulling them out if and when I want to do substitutions, since they're now dyeing them in these kind of 5 shades of the same colour. I think that's the only thing. I don't think I bought anything else. No, I'm just looking around. When I did, of course, I did a couple of extra videos this last week. I did my finish parade on New Year's Day, and then I did my whip parade as at the end of 2023, 3 on the 3rd, and as I was posting I've done my video and edit it, and I was grabbing all of my notes. I keep a track of all of my whips in my notes on my phone, so I can just grab and paste into the description. And I realized there were 2 things in that list that I hadn't shown you, so I couldn't find them for the life of me. I did find them since because they were in little bags that are not my project bags. So I forgot that I'd put something in here, and I forgot about this one. So I'll just quickly show you now. As much as I've got a record for the end of the year, but I wasn't going to go back and unpublish, film, edit, like life's too short, right? So one of the projects that I forgot to show you, one of my whips, and I started this in Dunedin at the Sitchy retreat in, I don't know when it was, May, was the Colours of Autumn by Dorothy Kanzi from Historic Stekmuster, and I just forgot it was in this little bag. So I had intended to finish this in 2023, but I didn't, mostly because I forgot about it, and I've just got 2 rows done. So what is it? 6 rows. So I'm a tad over 33%. I do love it, and this is on 35 count white Zweigart using, well, I wrote down the called for a very soie d'argent, but I've changed a couple of colours because I wanted it to look more like this, and the orange and the brown were not like this, so I changed them with the help of Anne when we went down to Stitch, which is down the road, so mine looks a little bit more representative. So if you want to look like, if you're stitching this and you want it to look like mine, let me know. I can find out what the colours are. So that is one of my whips that hadn't been stitched on for ages, so I'm adding this to the would love to finish it this year list, which is ambitious, but anyway, so it's that one. And the other whip, it's not that one. Okay, I've lost it. Bear with me, I've got to go and find it. I've already lost it again. This is the black sampler. I showed you this. One moment. These projects that I have in little bags get put on a different place because I have a cube which fits my big project bags really nicely, but these get kind of lost. So I put them other places and then forget that's also where they are. So the other one was one of my black samplers, which I started as part of my stash sampler start in August. This is the I Am No Bird, a Charlotte Bronte sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery, which is on 40 count Tickle the Ivory Linen from Dames of the Needle, and using Anchor Black. And I did a little bit of this. I started this in August and have stitched on it since, and I haven't done anything since I last showed it to you. Sorry I didn't iron these because I forgot about them. So this is also on the finish this year list because I am nuts, a little bit nuts. But anyway, so sorry that I left those off the whip parade. I think that does now bring it up to 24 or 25. I've got those little bags everywhere. So yeah, they should have been shown to you on Wednesday. Okay, stitching. As those of you who would have seen my finish parade have already seen this, but no, not everybody. I need to get some new clothes because my clothes are a little bit big for me now. So I finished Gigi on New Year's Eve about 10:30 at night by Nora Corbett, and like her friends, so this is the 3rd of this series of Bewitching Pixies that I have stitched. She is on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, using all the called for apart from her skin, which I tweaked a little bit. So I just went a shade up with her skin. She's a very pale lady. I went up a little bit darker. And I basically had all the beading to do, which in my head was just going to be like an hour, and it wasn't. It was several hours, but we got her finished, and she's lovely. And I didn't have enough water in my iron to steam her, so she's a bit wrinkly. But so there she is. So she is, yes, slightly darker skin, certainly not tanned by any terms, but I'm really happy with her. So she is done. So yeah, that was my final finish. And yeah, started on the 31st of the 12th, 22, and finished on the 31st of the 12th, 23. And Judith is getting there. She's a little more beading and a little bit of back stitching to do. So go, Judith, go. Go, Judith, go. Just giving her a bit of a bit of encouragement there. I'm going to give this away, so hang on until the end to find out how to put your name in for me to pass her on, because I do pass them on. I don't keep 99.9% of my charts. Any that are, you know, like gifted and signed, of course I'll keep those because they're personal. But yeah, I'll pass her on. So if you're interested in winning her, and she does have 3, anyway, not pass it on. Okay. I had also mentioned several times that I wanted even though I'm trying to get my whips down, I wanted a new start for New Year's Eve. So Count the Sources by Ardirh Design. When I was pulling my finished parade stuff together, because I did it, started the week before, it reminded me, well, I couldn't find it, and then I couldn't find the companion Count the Cups, and I found it in the bag with this because I hadn't put it where it goes. When you have a system, it works. When you don't follow the system, anyone who has a job knows we don't follow the system, things fall over. So, but it reminded me that I wanted to stitch this. So I had it all kitted up. So I just pulled that out to start. Again, I thought that Gigi was going to take me like an hour on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. And I was like, well, I'm going to be stitching, and I like to stitch on 32 count when I'm at people's houses. This was a good project. And then, of course, Gigi took me several hours to bead and finish because I was ambitious. So about 10:30, I think, or 11ish, I pulled out this, and I was too tired, but I gave it a crack. So also on 32 count, Vintage Country Mocha from Zweigart. She's actually on a scrap that was from one of the Bewitching Pixies, and I'm using the same thread I use for Count the Cups, which is Very Prim Red from Victoria Model Sampler Shop. So started on the 31st of December, so she was a whip come the new year, and I got a little tiny bit in. So that's as wide as she is, it is, and I'm just doing the back stitching as I go, and there's this little kind of elongated sort of, well, they're supposed to be eyelets, and they looked awful, so I pulled a couple out and I put them back in as, I'm going to call them Smyrna crosses, although they're elongated. And they split there's a whole lot of this design, like the little heart back stitch and these little eyelets or Smyrnas. Quite a few of the details split the square. So, you know, if you stitch over 2, or over 4 really on linen, and you will know you start with the vertical thread so that it doesn't pull under. They're in the middle, so they're kind of you're splitting. Anyway, it will be, if you were stitching on Ada and following the pattern, you'd be splitting the Ada square a lot, which is fine, just giving you a warning, but it's not as fun. And it can look a little messier, but yeah, it's definitely designed for linen, and I'm really happy with how that's going. So I intend to finish this month I've completely forgotten what I was saying. I intend to finish it this month, either at or the day of the Wellington Stitchy gathering at the end of the month. So a Wellington gathering. So I'll take it, I'm going to concentrate on it, whatever I get, you know, and I can finish it that night when I get home, kind of thing, or the next Sunday. So I might do a little bit in the meantime, so I definitely get a finish. So I might, you know, complete the alphabet or something. I don't know, there's a lot of alphabet. We'll see. I want to finish it this month. And then I also talked about having a New Year's start. I didn't start this on New Year's Day. By the time I, you know, got home, did all the things I needed to do to get home and getting my finished parade up and edited and blah, blah, blah and all that, I was too tired to start anything. And I don't remember. Oh, and I was just too busy. It doesn't really matter why. So on the 3rd, I finally got Frederika started. So she's still my New Year's start. I just didn't start until the 3rd. So I had pulled her out a while ago, like back in October or November, saying I wanted to get her started, and then promptly left her on the floor in my craft room, which by then had become a disaster again. So she is on, like Frederik, she is on 40 count drifting sands linen from Country Stitch using the called for DMC, and I started her on the 3rd of December. Frederik was stitched in 22, and I finally got all the border done. It's quite a lot of stitching in that border, and my elbow's a bit sore because I didn't take enough breaks, but I'm really happy to have that done. So I've got a good foundation in for next time I pick this up. We'll start with the little grassy knoll that she's standing on, and probably like get the foundation and get the grass in. She's not all back outlined, just her body is, that tail isn't, but I get, you know, the dark outline in, this sort of leafy grassy vine stem, that stem, so kind of get the foundation in, then I can easily count everything off, and it just makes it easy to get some of those foundations in. I don't know when that'll be. I would like to finish her this year. I've got all year to do it. I've got a lot of samplers, so that just gives me something else to pull out when I feel like doing some lovely autumnal fractal stitching. I have got a birthday coming up. Funny, every year happens in January the 18th, on January the 18th. And for the last few years, this will be year 5, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20, yeah, this will be the 5th year that I've had a birthday start. And I typically do a sampler. And this is the Brick House sampler. I've decided, I couldn't decide. I've got a couple of samplers, but I wanted to personalize them, and I don't have the energy to do that right now, and they just weren't calling to me for this particular start. And then I was looking through my stuff, and I remembered I had this chart. Sam, Mind My Needle, passed this on to me once she stitched it, and I looked at it the other day and I went, oh, I haven't pulled any threads for it, or whatever, I'll do it another time. And in my head it wasn't a sampler, but it is a sampler. And then I was visiting Sam, she showed us a couple of things that was in the pile, and it reminded me, oh yeah, I will do that. So on the way home I said to Judith that I'm going to stitch this for my start, so I just needed to kit it up. I had fabric pulled. This fabric was either, so I can't remember, this was either given to me by Judith or Julia picked it up for me off of the freebie table. I can't remember. It's from either of those two places. I'm pretty sure this came from Judith, but I don't remember. It's so Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais will be my birthday start, and it's on 40 count. I'm going to stitch it on 40 count Heartland linen from Picture This Plus, and I'm going to use my own over-dyed cotton conversion, which I have pulled random stuff here. So some of the colours will be the same. I've got maybe 3 colours charted. Yeah, I think I've got Oscar, Mulberry and Eggshell are all called for. So one of those is a Gentle Art, one's a Classic Colourworks, and one is a week. So I've got one of each and the rest are from my stash. So some of these might change when I go to stitch. But yeah, my house is going to be, which is the main point of the whole thing, because it's all about a brick house, is going to be Cottage Garden Threads Victor, and it's a lovely variegated red. So I think that will look very fun stitched in the house. And I will just stitch rows, so it ends up more tweedy. It'll be a little less, it'll be less stripy and more tweedy when you stitch like, and I like that look on these sort of more prim designs. But that is all kitted up, so really keen to start it. That's pretty much it, I think, apart from my giveaway. Yeah, so that's obviously not been started until the 18th. I do have my birthday off and I have a few appointments and things, but I'll definitely have time to stitch that, or start it at least on my birthday. Very important. And other than that, I don't know what I'm going to do this week coming, apart from go back to work and try and cope. If you'd like to have the opportunity to win, what's her name? Gigi. Please just in a comment use the word Gigi, so G-I. I will ship anywhere. It will take several weeks because I'm really crap at rushing to the post shop. So I mean, I'll draw it next week and then I'll get it in the post by the end of January. Obviously if it goes missing, I'm sorry, it's free and I can't replace it. Again, don't say any of the things, you know the drill. Don't say free, giveaway, prize, win, any of those trigger words that a trolley robot could find. Please be a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It does help get, people find me. And I probably have the slowest burn channel of all, but I like the people that are my subscribers, so that's important. Yeah, and go in the draw for her. Just mention the word Gigi, and I'll draw her next week and then get her out. And I really enjoy being able to pass the stash. And that's all I've got. So yeah, I had a couple of coffees bought for me this week. I really appreciate it, as always. And tons of lovely comments because I had 3 videos, right? So I think I'm up to date with comments for my Flosstube on Sunday, my finish parade and my whip parade. Yeah, take care and have a great week, have a great year. Hope everyone's well and you find joy in your stitching. And as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.